So today, very important topic is a topic of being love. Being means your state of being, and somehow to avoid the roller coaster of the emotions. Okay? So it's a continuation topic of the topic on the mind and the topic on being peace last week. Last week is being peace, and this week is being love. Okay? So, what is love? Swami Sivananda said that love is the goal of life. So if you ask yourself a question, what is my goal of life? What is my purpose of being here on earth? The answer is love is my purpose. So he said that love is the law of life. That means you are living on this earth with your body and mind, and you have to follow the law. That law is you have to learn about love. God is a supreme, or the supreme truth is love, and love is God. So if you love is to fulfill your law, the law, we live so that we may learn to love in the eternal. So sometimes we have a lot of difficulties to understand what love is. But love, you can say, is oneness, is union, is unity, and it is yoga. So our human condition when we are born with the body and mind is separation. We suffer from separation, and we are longing for union. Our stories of love, or our experiences of love, are different stories of our karmic lessons about love unfolding. And we experience this as pain or pleasure. So yoga helps to free us from the suffering coming from this duality and this split we feel between ourselves and others, ourselves and our environment. But we want to experience love, but we need to know that we need to learn about love. Selfless love needs to be learned. So our different relationships are opportunities to learn selfless love. It means to see the self and divinity in nature and in others, as well as in your own self. It means not seeing the differences, but seeing the essence, the commonness that is one, and realizing unity in diversity. So love is selfless and unconditional. Conditional love is selfish and emotional. Emotions need to be purified to become pure love. Emotions come from our low mind and our subconscious mind, which carries impressions of the past. And yoga teaches us to purify that usual, habitual, kind of tainted love. So you need to know that love is not desire. Okay? So love, a few things you need to know only. Love is not desire. So true happiness is not just emotional and satisfaction of desire, but the fulfillment of our soul longing to be united with the Supreme. You need to know also that love is not attachment. True love is not attached, but is detached. True love is warm and yet not emotional and is detached. Detachment doesn't mean rejection. It means learning to see true self, the true self, the Atman, that is love. Absolute, bliss absolute. And then you feel fulfilled, not needing anything else. Okay, so today, if we have time, I'm going to give you 7 practices. I can talk a lot, but then you forget. So then I'll give you 7 practices. So the first practice is you need to assert being loved. Yeah, sometimes you go on and you assert that I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm wealthy, I'm pretty, I'm social, I'm the son of who and daughter of who, I'm Vietnamese, I'm Chinese. So we go on thinking this thing. So now what you need to do is thinking that I am love. And you carry that feeling and that beingness of love with you. So you need to assert within you that love is your essential nature. You need to assert within you that love is your essential nature. So you connect wholeheartedly, 100% wholeheartedly with the secure and fulfilled divine love. So it's a question of connection. It's a question of feeling very secure and very fulfilled, very happy. Okay? You need to ask your heart intelligence. So everyone has their heart intelligence. Close eyes, sit still. So every day you do practice, people that are yogis. Then at that time, feel yourself to be strong and complete. Feel past the emotional needs. Assert that I am love. For those who are more intellectual, then relax, trust, and allow the soft feeling to be toward other people. For those who are emotional by nature, then you need to feel more, but past the emotional need. Feel yourself strong and complete, not needy. You see the difference? I repeat again. So I summarize everything into two categories. The people that are intellectual, the people that are emotional. Of course, you are both. But there will be something that is more than the other. So if you are emotional, then you need to feel strong and complete, not needy. Because when you have emotions, oftentimes the emotion is towards something or somebody. Now you have to feel, you have to withdraw all the emotions within yourself. You have to feel strong and complete within yourself. You assert, I am love. Instead of saying, I love something, I love this person, I love that person. Assert, I am love. And for people, they are non-emotional, they're intellectual, then you need to relax. You need to trust. You need to allow your soft feeling toward people to be. Okay? You need to allow it because your intellect will just close it. So you need to be soft. So that's the two types of people and how you practice being love. So now the second practice that everyone needs to do is you need to reduce the emotional extreme of the roller coaster of the emotions. You know, when you go on roller coaster, there's a high hill and drop deep down, and there is a middle hill and then a nice hill. So you need to coast the roller coaster, the middle hill or the small hill, but not the high hill. Okay, I give example of roller coaster, but of course, when you go on roller coaster, you have to go to the up and the down and the high and the low. But you need to recognize within yourself, you know, the high extreme, and you have to reduce it. Extreme hatred or extreme excitement, reduce it. Last time we talked the same, when we talk about being peace, is a practice of equanimity or the practice of equal vision or the practice of equal love. You need to free yourself from this idea of pleasure and pain that always go together. You seek for pleasure and then you avoid pain. You need to somehow not to go through this. The duality, always, the up and the down. You don't like censure and you like praises. This is a duality. You are unfriendly towards some people and some people become very dear to you. This also you need to avoid. You are moved all the time by joy and sorrow. Joy, sorrow, joy, sorrow. Okay. Swami Sivananda say, love little, but love long. And you want love a lot and die. Okay. So that is the practice number 2. The practice number 3 is Cease seeking for happiness, but seek for peace of mind. You will be shocked when I say cease to seek for happiness. But there is a reason. There's a reason I say to cease to seek for happiness. The reason why is we have a past history, long past history, to seek for happiness in the wrong place. So that happiness always is accompanied with pain. So your relationship with happiness is often a faulty one, because you follow the emotional patterns of the past, your instinctual desires, and your inborn prejudices and experiences that you carry with you. Therefore, you need to abandon your search for happiness, but rather seek for peace and lasting happiness. This lasting happiness will automatically come if you find peace and serenity and contentment. Don't make mistakes. Sometimes you feel like you are kind of closed off and hard and depressed, and you're kind of like, don't believe in love. So that's not peace, okay, that I'm talking about. I mean some kind of resentment that you have. So it's not that. Contentment doesn't mean that you are, close, but it's peace. Notice that love that comes with fear and anxiety, happiness that come with fear and anxiety is not love. Okay? So if you love and you feel a little bit of anxiety and you feel a little bit of fear, that's not love. You're just going in somewhat in wrong direction. So number four practice is practice heart opening. So how do you do that? There's a few things. You need to see the divine in all. You're able to see the divine in all, not only in your family, your friends, and your loved ones. Not that. You have to see the divine in all. This will help you to open your heart. You need to see the good qualities in people instead of their imperfection and mistakes. This will open your heart. You need to exchange your judgment for tolerance and generosity of heart. You need to feel compassion instead of judgment. And it will help to open your own heart. You need to feel forgiveness instead. And it helps to open your heart and allows you to continue to live meaningfully. Because forgiveness unties the knots of your heart. Sometimes it can be very hard to forgive. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you admit that the person is the other person's wrong is right. It's not that. But it is you that want to open your heart so you can continue to being love and living your life. the practice of gratitude will open your heart. So every day, write 5 things that you are grateful for. Being sincere opens your heart. Try not to hide, try not to play game. Being sincere, simple, and honest opens your heart. Give what you can. Give your time. Give nice words. Give nice thought. Give nice prayer in silence. It helps to open your heart. You can pray every day for a lot of people that need prayers. So that's the best way to open your heart. Just pray for them. When the heart opens, it automatically attains purity of heart. When your heart starts to open, that means your heart becomes more purified. And this will allow true love to happen. So make sure not to allow your heart to close again, because you can open your heart and then it closes again. It opens on weekend and it closes during the day and the week. It's not like that. You need to allow your heart to, you need to not allow your heart to close once it's open. So it's like you open the door and you take a big rock and you roll the big rock to keep the door open. You see? Because your heart is like have a spring, you know. It open and it close. It open a little bit and then it close. So you need to make sure that you put something in the middle of the door there so it cannot close. It has to stay open. Your heart needs to stay open. So you need to be able to recognize possible reaction when you find yourself in an unfamiliar situation, which triggers defensiveness and fear. When you find yourself in an unfamiliar situation, then your heart closes. Okay? So you need to recognize that. Doesn't mean that you are blind. Doesn't mean that you're blind and you don't see that people can harm you and you put yourself in that situation to be harmed. It's not that. You need to be aware. You need to pull in your higher mind, your higher energy that cannot be touched. Okay? And then you need to pay attention that you don't fall back into the past pattern of defensiveness, fear, hurt. Okay? So it's a lot of things to do to open your heart. Now the practice number 5 is you need to heal your emotions. Everyone has emotions that are not, that is a kind of pattern, habitual, familiar, and you need to heal these emotions. These emotions are not really your true nature. It's just a habit. So how do you heal emotional wound and free ourselves from negative mental pattern and suffering coming from conditional love? That's the problem. The moment that you have this pattern of negative emotion, then your love becomes conditional. It cannot be unconditional. So at that time you love because you cannot help to love, but that love will become conditional, then it brings you unhappiness. So what are the patterns of emotions? It can be Fear is a pattern of emotion, anxiety. And then you have to know that fear comes from attachment. That you have to learn by heart. When you're afraid of something, you have to see that there is attachment there. Attachment means some kind of losing the self. See, you live your life to gain the self, to be who you are. You don't want to lose yourself. So fear comes from attachment, and it can be paralyzing. I mean, the moment that you have fear, you freeze. All kinds of fear. Fear of death, fear of being alone, fear of people criticizing you, fear of losing. So you need to heal your emotion of fear by replacing it with the opposite. The antidote of fear is courage. You need to feel strong in your heart. Courage, faith, detachment, letting go, asking yourself questions. Why I'm thinking like this? It's not through me. Self-inquiry. Feel self-confidence. Be self-reliant. I mean, count on yourself. Your self always is there, but you forget the self. So you have to remember the self, count on yourself. It's not like you become selfish, but you become yourself. And the moment you become yourself, it includes everyone. So what is another pattern of emotion that you need to heal from? Hatred. Hatred comes from love turning in the wrong direction. It is the opposite of love. So the antidote of hatred is seeing the self in others, practice of compassion, do selfless service to people that you don't like. Yeah, that's how you practice love in action. You just serve the people that you don't like. And then you start to like them. This will open the knots of your heart. Your heart sometimes tied up, no energy flow. Because the past, egoistic tendency, and the past prejudices that corrupt love into hatred. Okay? You sometimes you say like this, I have no prejudice. I love everyone. Not true. Not true. So please sit down a little bit and you see that you have plenty of prejudices. You don't love the people that are old. You don't love people that are male. You don't love people that are female. You don't love people that are black. You don't love people that are white. You don't love people that are short. You don't love people that are business people. You don't love people that are rich. You don't love people that are poor. You don't love people that are different than you. You have plenty. You have a plenty. You have a long list of prejudices. So you need to actively work against it. Okay? Because you want to deserve that love that you feel within you. But if you allow this emotional pattern to obstruct this love, you are the one that is hurt. So you need to work on these prejudices in order for you to heal your emotions and experience the love that comes through when the emotions are pure, when your heart is open. So another example of emotion that can block your love is greed. Greed comes from our desire for safety and fulfillment, twisted into an insatiable desire for material objects. So you need to remove this greed to find safety and fullness inside. The antidote will be charity, giving, contentment, practice of gratitude, renunciation, you can have, but you don't want it. You renounce it. So that means that you, in some way, you prove to yourself that I don't need it. I'm still happy. So you can name many patterns of emotion. One of these is also desire. Okay? The instinctive desire. And oftentimes we talk about the desire of a mate, sexual desire. So we have this sexual desire within us because we're born in the body, and we feel separated and we feel split. And there is that very strong impulse for procreation in nature. We are part of nature, so we have that strong impulse for procreation. But you have to replace it with that strong impulse for union with your own true self, with God, with the divine. That means to be free from all the problems that you have that can come from your lower instinctive nature. You need to become spiritual. You need to elevate your whole self so that you seek for union and you satisfy in union and you become one instead of feeling split and missing my counterpart. A male miss a female, female miss a male, or now it's a male miss a male, everyone missing something. So you need to feel fulfilled. You cannot miss something. You have yourself. Then at that time, you're free from that emotional pattern of desire. So the number 6, remember? The number 6. What is number 1? The number 1 is being loved. Practice that. The number 2 is avoid extremes. Practice equanimity of heart. Right? What the number 3 is? Cease seeking for happiness, but seek for peace of mind. Okay? Cease seeking for pleasure, but seek for the inner joy. The number 4 is, remember, practice of heart opening. Slowly, slowly practice heart opening. I gave you a long list. Try to see the divine in all beings. Try to see the good qualities in all beings. Try to exchange judgment for tolerance and generosity of heart. Try to feel compassion for all. Try to feel forgiveness. Practice of gratitude. Be thankful, thankful, thankful for everything you receive. Being sincere and honest. Being charitable. And make sure that the heart, when it opens, doesn't close again. By recognizing the possible reaction when you are in a situation that is unfamiliar, then you close your heart. Or when you are in a situation that makes you think of the past hurt, then you close your heart. So pay attention to that. And know that when your heart opens, your heart is become purer, you attain to purity of heart, then at that time, automatically true love will happen. You just have to make sure that you open your heart. And when you open your heart correctly, then true love will happen. Okay, and the practice number 6 is you need to cultivate faith. Faith in your own true self, your Atman. It's more difficult for you to know that. We'll talk about that later. Faith in God and Goddess, in the Supreme Being. That also need to be talked to. And faith in the practice, the teaching. Most of you are practicing yoga already, so you need to have faith in your practice. When your mind starts to wander and you have difficulty, go back to your practice. You need to, in order to cultivate faith, you need to establish your spiritual ideal of love. Okay? You have to know what is it that you love. For you to fall in love, for you to love, you need to know. So what is your ideal of love? And you cultivate this divine love in your meditation, in your life, then you can see it in all relationships and all situations around you. And when you do that active practice, then it will free you from usual pattern and you achieve lasting happiness. Okay? So basically you need to apply devotion in daily life. That's called cultivate faith. Love of the chosen ideal will start from within. It's not because your father says so, your mother says so, the society says so, but it has to start from within. It starts from the cave. In your heart, there is a cave, the cave of your heart. You know that in your heart, there is a cave? Now there is a cave, a hidden cave there. And the Atman is sitting there. The self, the most beautiful thing is sitting there the size of the thumb. Scripture says so. Yeah. So you need to have that love for the chosen ideal from the cave of your heart. So when you be able to love the chosen ideal, it brings back the presence of love in our heart, which is blocked by our identification or our separate self. So very often time, we have all these problems with relationships. So when you have lots of problem relationship, you have this very negative emotion toward close one, like your mother, your father, your sister, or, you know, it's long time because it's in the family. So it's a long time. So you have to replace it with that divine love. Love of the chosen ideal is the most sacred feeling, high feeling, sacred. Yeah. And it's not a display of social conformity. So you cannot go to church and go to temple and, you know, and have a stamp there. No, it's not that. It's daily life. You have to feel this. The temples is in your heart. So think of this quality that you love, of your chosen ideal. Purity, eternity, knowledge, true inner power, beauty, perfection, bliss, righteousness. So love that. And respect other people also way to truth, because the moment that you talk about God, and then people fight, you know, because they have different ideal. So pay attention, God is one, names and forms are many, truth is one. So respect other people. So I give you a few examples of a divine ideal. You can love the goddess, your divine mother. Yeah. It helps you to relax, to self-surrender, to become humble, to break through our egoistic limitation, our identification, our fear. Surrender our ego, heal our emotions. So the divine mother, energy. She can be in nature. You can see her everywhere in nature, in the food that you eat, in the people that you meet, in the wind, in the sun, in the stars. Okay, so you can choose. So those who want to know, you can go deeper into it. You can choose Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, of intelligence, of creativity, of wisdom. You can choose Lakshmi, the energy of peace and love, virtue, righteousness, healing. You can choose Vishnu. She's the consort of Vishnu, the goddess Lakshmi. Yeah. You can choose Durga, and so on. And then you can develop this feeling. You see, to develop divine love within your heart, you have to have a feeling. And your feeling, most of the time, you know this feeling. You have this habitual kind of feeling of love toward friend, toward your father, toward your mother, toward your husband, toward your wife, toward your lover, toward your servant, toward your master, like this. So these are a habitual feeling that you can address toward your divine ideal. You don't have to think too much. It's within you. So in Bhakti Yoga, it's the traditional science of convert emotion into divine love, selfless love. Then it's identify 9 modes, 9 ways how you can do that. Yeah, you can study more, but I'm just naming it here. Yeah, you need to develop your capacity of listening without judgment. You need to praise, look for good qualities in others and in nature. You need to remember all the time when you see someone. Yeah, you need to remember that it's God. That's why we meet each other and we say Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, instead of saying, hey, you. Okay. And be grateful, look around and be grateful for trees, for plants, for animals, for food. Yeah, so remembrance is like that. And then the number 4 is you do service with humility. You do some gardening, for Mother Nature, some planting, some cooking for the children of the mother. And then you do, you can formally learn how to do expression of love in ceremonies, in rituals. You can learn to do this. It's immediately, because this tradition are very old. This tradition of puja ceremony, for example, is very old. It's from the Vedas. So this has been studied. There is a science how to do that. So then you can practice that, and immediately you bring back the divine love within your heart, and you nourish the divine love within your heart. It's very old. You just have to learn. It's like yoga is very old. You have to learn the technique, how to do asanas. Then it gives you the right energy. So the same, any kind of rituals you have to learn, and you have to practice a lot, and then it brings you that right away. Yeah. And then you have to learn to give respect, prostrations, utmost respect. Yeah. When you see the divine in all things, in animal, people. Okay. And then the number 7, you have to feel that you are the servant, like you are a servant of Divine Mother. You feel that you are a friend of the Mother Earth. The next feeling is a friend of Mother Earth. You are a friend. You are not the one that will, abuse your friend or conquer your friend, enslave your friend. No, you are a friend. So you respect. Okay. And then the 9th mode is complete self-surrender. You learn to accept all things happening to you and all actions of nature with equanimity. So in the news, I say that California will have all kinds of mudslide and all kinds of big storm this weekend and whatever, So Mother is in the summer very hot, and then now also very rainy, and then they say the big huge storm, and that's Mother Nature, you see, but you still love her. Okay, so that is the whole big chapter about how to cultivate faith. So now the practice number 7 is the practice of self-love, love of your own Atman. Okay, so you need to feel that everyone is your own Atman. There is nobody out there. There is no other. There is no separation. There is no other. There is no duality. We are one. So you need to find the relationship with love itself beyond names and forms. So whoever there, you feel the love. Whatever happened, you feel the love. So what is it? A real relationship that you have is a relationship with love itself. Means relationship with yourself, the Atman that is love. So that's the way how you heal your emotional scar and patterns, is replacing it with self-love. Self-love and love of God is the same. So self-love brings acceptance, makes the mind turn inward instead of outward. Okay. Self-love is not egoistic. It's not the love of the idea of I am that is limited. Self-love is not egoistic. It is the lack of self-love and lack of awareness that creates the patterns of need and dependency of the ego. self-love comes with self-respect and self-discipline. Okay? Discipline of the mind and heart. All relationships really is just a relationship with your own self. So if you respect and love all relationships, you are practicing self-love. You are certain that there is no separation. I am with you. I am you. So you need to know that, you know, yourself is not that limited. You need to do some kind of self-inquiry to be free from this idea of yourself that is not you, to find your core self. Okay, so the 7th practice is practice of the love of your Atman through self-discipline of your mind and heart and self-respect. Through self-discipline of your mind and heart and self-respect, respect of the Atman within you, then at that time, you practice self-love. Okay, so these are the 7 practices. You think that you can do it? Raise the hand, those who think that you can do it. Raise, no, not one thumb, I want 10 fingers. I want 10 fingers. I want you to vote for it. Okay. So let me flick through here. I want to see all the fingers. Okay. Very good. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'm seeing some people are dark screen, so I don't know if they are moving their finger at all. Okay. A lot of dark screen, eh, you guys? Maybe because of the internet problem, but you know, when you are in a relationship, which is I am in a relationship with you here, talking about love, you know, show yourself. Don't be afraid. Show yourself. Yeah. You didn't comb your hair, you didn't dress a nice shirt, or you are kind of moody. Doesn't matter. Show yourself. Okay. Don't hide. Yeah, that's the way how we have a relationship. I love you, whatever that you are. You have a bad hair or short hair or long hair, or you didn't wake up well this morning, or you are sleepy, or doesn't matter. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone. And we say the prayer now. Yeah. Oh.